All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the November Stars and Cards. So, first, I just wanted to start with obviously, we are a little bit into the month. We are now on November 6th. But the reasoning that it's happening the way that it is not, I mean, it's not a coincidence. It's not just, it has a lot, it's very significant with what the theme and what's going down in November. November is a really, really big month as far as the whole year. And so, I'm on my moon cycle. I had started a few days ago, actually during this, when I was originally going to do the stars and cards. And during the last eclipse, I was hit by a car on my bicycle. And, you know, it was things that happen on eclipses, just like with new moons and full moons, it's a seeding, right? And that seed then, will grow and flower, and it starts to create these patterns and these cycles of energy. So, what happened after, I, was in that accident was it totally whacked out my menstrual cycle. Um, as a young girl, I'm not going to go too much into it, but, I have come like from just horrific periods, debilitating in the hospital, these sort of things, to having an incredible menstrual cycle where it's just like I wouldn't even know, unless there was just blood, right? So, but after in being in this accident, it whacked out my menstrual cycle to like how it was a long time ago, and I was in really debilitating pain. And I actually did a whole video on this, which I highly recommend you watch if you are struggling with anything, having any health challenges, pain, menstrual cycle things, because I go and share some really, really awesome ways to navigate your relationship to your body and how we really are, in relationship to this vehicle. So, um, yeah, I will post that in my group, the Mother Loveship, or or if you need help finding that, send me a private message. So, but my cycle was all whacked out after this accident, and it was just like I shifted from bleeding on the new moon to the full moon, which I don't like. And with all of this pain, and so since then, I've been able to get my cycle regulated, except for this last one where it was just doing wonky shit again. And so I was just like, it's eclipse season. So that totally makes sense. So for me, even more so, like I'm paying attention. And this is really what these eclipses, what eclipse season is, it's about awareness. Astrologically, astronomically, it is equivalent. It's a phenomena that happens in our sky that is synonymous with a light switch, like being flickered on and then off. So really dramatically, really, really big, over the top experiences that can radically destabilize your life for better or for worse, better or for worse. But it's allowing you to become aware of things that you just were not aware of, right? It's stuff that's very, very deep in our psyche, very, very deep within our body. It's DNA, ancestral lineage pattern stuff, past life, and however you tend to, whether you actually believe in like real past lives, and or just like all of the many death and ego death rebirth that we have. So for example, like for me, like I feel like I've had so many past lives, this version of me since, I took my first breath on this planet. So, you can look at it like that. It's like I am nowhere near the person that I was when I was 7. So I've had all of these lives. So we are in eclipse season. Something that's also really significant that I want to share with you is this is the first eclipse that where we're changing signs. We have been in the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius, which, has so much to do with media, and it has to do with politics. It has to do with um, the axis of the forest for the trees, meaning paying attention to the small logical details, the day to day. How do I get to where I want to go, in my car versus the big vision, right? Like where am I on? Where is my ultimate destiny and journey, right? Like what's the visions and the dreams and the expansion, right? And my connection to spirit, my connection to faith. Ultimately, that's Sagittarius versus that smaller, more logical learning and sharing and disseminating information, teaching, connecting, making connections, in a local type way is, like school is Gemini. So we're shifting from all of that. And we've seen how powerful the media can be, and also how there's also a lot of deception that is possible with the media, and how the relationship between politics and media is what it is. And so, but now we're shifting into Scorpio and Taurus. Totally different. I mean, this is fixed energy, meaning these are patterns that are very, very fixed in in culture, in nature, in your body, in your mind, meaning things that have been very, very established for long periods of time. And most likely, they're things that we tend to just really rely upon and may or may not take for granted because it's so fixed. It's like it's always going to be this way, and lots of, and so because of this, right, like it makes when eclipses start happening in an area that's a lot more solid, it's like it's the potential for things to break, right? It's like when we're more flexible and something changes in our life, it's like we can adapt really easily, right? It's not like this big thing, as opposed to, you know, um, you're very set in your ways, and it's like you're not going to fucking budge on this, and something comes against you that's like it's going to fucking shake you. Then you're just like, it can really make you feel like um like it really challenges your ego. It can really, really challenge people's ego, and that is what makes it can make it more, uh, challenging, is because the longer you hold on, right, and you don't let go, the more suffering that you're going to experience. So Taurus and Scorpio, is about, Taurus has a lot to do with financial security. It's body security, how we feel in our body. It's safety, security, stability. It's an earth sign. So it has everything to do with, again, your money, your resources, your relationship to the earth, to your body, and also, your values, and your sense of feeling beautiful, and what you value. So the more you hang on to that, like, meaning if you feel tight and restricted around money, this is going to fuck up your shit. It's really, and it's doing, and the reason it's doing this is for your growth. So look at, are you hoarding money? Meaning, are you tight with money? Is money always kind of like this thing where it's like you're in scarcity, and so you have to hold on to it and constantly like, like worrying about it? It's really going to, um, you know, challenge that for you. And that could be a really great thing, right? If you tend to loosen up, right, your grip around money, this could bring in more money for you. If you allow yourself to open and allow yourself to receive and get into the flow and the harmony of what money and prosperity really is, as opposed to your belief systems around it, you can open yourself up to so much more wealth. But that's not going to happen until you release those patterns. With Scorpio, this is about emotional security. So it could be with relationships, um, you know, um, um, other people's money, other people's resources, um, how you, the trust, right, that we have with other people with your money, trusting other people with your secrets, trusting, you know, um, sexuality is a big, big one. Sexual um, patterns, sexual, intimacy. Um, it can be a very shadowy place, so it's about secrets. You're only as sick as your secrets. So, if you're holding on to secrets, if you're holding on to grudges, if you've got a lot of emotional baggage, okay. So, I just wanted to, and so let's just like start with that eclipse season. So the first eclipse that we are having is going to be um, November 19th, and that is going to be a full moon. So it's a lunar eclipse at 27 degrees of Taurus. So, I highly recommend that you look at where this, where is Taurus in your astrological chart, because that is where this huge spotlight is going to be shown onto your life. And full moons are always about polarity and balance. They're going to show you where you're out of balance. It's going to show you where you're doing too much of something and not enough of another. And let's just look this up for, I want to see, because we're in between the nodes, meaning the nodes are shifting from Gemini. The full moon. Let me just, before I even start like jamming about that, so I am giving you. Okay, yeah. See, so the nodes are actually still going to be in the sign of Gemini and Sagittarius, so at 1 degree. But where the lunation is happening, meaning where the sun and the moon are actually in the sign of Taurus and um, Scorpio. So, um, so, um, So eclipses belong to a family. Okay, it's called a Saros, Sairos series. And so there's always a beginning Saros series, and there's 73 in total, meaning so from the first time that there's an eclipse to the last one of that family, there's usually about 73 in total, and they happen every 18 years. So you might want to look back what happened 18 years ago, right? Because that is what the last eclipse, is. It's like it's completing this um it's this development, right, of like the um maturation of this cycle. So the last one of this series was, I didn't write that down. No, I just, okay, I had written down the um first date that this happened was in 1787. That was the beginning of this Tarot series. The last one's not going to be until 3031. So we're like right in the middle. So these are where it's peaking, right? So it means we're going to see really more strongly, more potently what the energy of this eclipse series is about. And then it will start to bell like a bell curve, right? It'll start to taper down. So, um, again, like I said, these eclipses are like mega wattage spotlights, showing you the way of your destiny. So that's why they're so important, like to really work with them, to really pay attention with them, to learn about them, to do your work, to really mind your mind and mind your mouth. Because things that you say and things that you do during eclipse season literally ripple out over lifetimes. Which is why I was sharing with you about my experience with the bicycle. Like that sets something in motion that now I went and I did work around that, looking at, because that was something that used to happen a lot to me as a child. I'm very physical and very rambunctious. And as a kid, I was always getting into accidents, like falling and being on motorcycles and flipping them and like near death experiences like that and so these near death experiences, intense situations, right? This is Scorpio. So this is my nodal axis. I have my south node in Scorpio, my north node in Taurus. So part of what I'm here to transmute in this lifetime is, I bring talent. I'm very comfortable. I'm really, really good at Scorpio stuff, like navigating through life and death experiences, transforming, passion, merging and getting very intimate with other people. Like I do that like in my sleep. But I'm also, because of my north node in Taurus, I'm here to release being, having all of these intense, passionate near death experiences and bringing more harmony and stability and calm and serenity into my life, like, and wealth, like really, accumulating wealth and generating wealth as opposed to losing it. Scorpio is about releasing, like releasing. And it's not to say that, if you've got Scorpio stuff that you're not going to make money, but meanings like you might be here, like your soul really might be wanting to be learning, needs to learn how to let go of money, meaning how to recognize that money isn't something that you accumulate and it's like you're hoarding. It's always meant to be circulating. So that's something that from a little girl, like has just been really easy for me is, giving money, like, paying for other people's things. I've been doing that like my whole life. But I also did that to my detriment for a long time, where I was so giving that I was just like felt that, it was, I gave and had more difficulty receiving, like allowing myself to have boundaries and hold my wealth in just for me. So you can see it's all about balance, right? It's like you don't want to be doing overly one or the other. And because that's where you'll start to get into issues. And when you avoid the extremes of anything, is actually how you develop extremes. So, all right. So coming back to with this North Node in Taurus, right? So, or this eclipse, it's going to be turning the light switch on and showing you like, whoa, are you in line with your destiny or not? And if you're not, it will radically like show you in some sort of way so that you hopefully pay attention and do the thing. What so many people do is they have an experience, something that like shakes them or like shows them, and then they see it and then they're like, oh, I got to do something. Got to do something. And they like kind of get all like, ooh, but then they don't actually commit and follow through, and they go back to the old pattern. They go back to the old ways because it's a pattern. It's so comfortable. It's challenging to start to forge the new path. So I really want you to really pay attention to that, because if you do, eclipses are a wormhole. They allow you to experience growth on your journey and get so much faster because you're going through a wormhole, but you have to be making the moves. If you don't make the moves, you don't get the growth, and you go back to the old pattern, and the window closes. So, and this is why I love astrology, because there is something to do with timing. Being in the right place in the right time means you're in your heart. And it's, you make the moves when the timing is there. And it's not to say that you won't always have new opportunities come up. Like there's always stuff that's going to be happening. However, it's not always the same ones. And you will, and it's like you can shift timelines. The more that you do it, the faster that, instead of going in a loop in your life, you start going in a spiral. That's how you experience quantum growth and leaps, is by doing those leaps at the right timing. This is why I've been, why I've developed Star Disco, my brand, which is about being in alignment with the stars, really recognizing all of the rites of passages that we have all of the time. This is how people used to live. These rites of passage where everybody did this. Nowadays, it's I believe that it's going to start to become more and more a thing. And I am a pioneer, I am a trailblazer on that path. And so Star Disco is very much about that, is recognizing all of the synodic patterns and cycles of the planets and going on these heroes' journeys and initiating yourself. So Mars is a very key player in the month of November and for these eclipses, which is hence why I'm doing Mars Moxie. If you still want to join, just send me a message. We begin today at 3 p.m. and there's still time to join. So this eclipse is a south node eclipse. So meaning that, oh, wait a minute. That, let me get my book. This is a north node, I believe, eclipse on what is this? Yeah. So yeah. Okay, so this is a north node lunar eclipse. So meaning this is going to be drawing you. It's like where you're hungry, where you wanting, your soul is hungry towards. But it's interesting because it's it's a full moon, so it's a lunar eclipse, which means there's also releasing involved. So it's kind of interesting. You're going to be wanting to, it's where your soul is hungry and drawing you, but at the same time, like it's going to be asking you to release things, release your attachments, release. And because it's Taurus, it's like releasing your attachments to money, possessions, physical resources, could be things with your body that you're holding on to, baggage, like weight, that kind of thing. But this is a really fortunate eclipse. Some of the themes around this is joy, good, falling in love, good news, peak experiences, and anything that you seed, anything that happens, like that you start or that you bring, that you're doing during this time will very easily be, it's like fertile. It's a very fertile quality to it. I mean, it's Taurus, right? Taurus is the fertile sign of all of the zodiac. So, and so the second one that's going to be with this one is going to be on December 4th. So it's not going to happen until December 4th. We will cover this in the December stars and cards, but that one's going to be at and that's going to be a new moon. So it's going to be a solar eclipse at 12 degrees of Sagittarius. So this will be the last one of the Gemini Sagittarius axis, and then we'll be fully going into the Scorpio. And so we're like in this in between here, between the the nodal shifts. So this is going to be the first one in this new series. So it's like a preview, and then we'll have the last clear out, or the last because it's a solar eclipse. And that solar eclipse is in Sagittarius on the south node. So this is about releasing. So it's like beginning this process of releasing, so you might be going and visiting things from your past, like going to look at things from your past, traveling because it's Sagittarius, and looking at belief systems and patterns that you want to release. And it's interesting because it's happening, during Christmas time. So a lot of times during the holidays, we go and we spend time with our families, right? Family is like our early imprints, right? It's like where we grew up. So spending time with family, going to places that, maybe we grew up around, and looking at what are the belief systems that I took on from these experiences, and what really isn't mine anymore, right? Like what belief systems did I pick up from the past that I'm ready to let go of? Yeah. So that's it about the eclipses. I have a whole video that I do even more about the eclipses. It's very, very common for people to get very anxious and to feel overly emotional during eclipse season, because it's bringing a lot of change, and most people fear change. They fear the uncertainty. They fear the unknown. That is, it is the human nature. And so it's like you intrinsically feel that there is this rip happening in the fabric of time, ripping literally your reality open. And so if you tend to be somebody that has lots of like control, like you like to be in control and overly in control, and surrendering is very difficult for you, then you need to be doing your personal practices and disciplines to get into that place, to release those patterns. We're going to be doing all this in Mars Moxie. If you want a reading, or some support, I just reach out to me. I'm happy to look at what you're going through and steer you, and like recommend for you what different ways that you can work with me to receive the support that you're requiring at this time. Okay, so let's get into some key dates for November. So the new moon was on the 4th, and that was at 12 degrees of Scorpio. Remember, new moons are about beginnings. It's we're in the dark, so we're clearing out, and and really preparing the new area of life that we want to that we would like to start seeding and growing something. On the 5th, Venus entered Capricorn. This is where Venus is going to be for like 4 months. Remember, Venus is going to be doing her retrograde journey in the sign of Capricorn. She's going through her death and her rebirth. So for 4 months, Venus is wherever you have Capricorn, that is where it's makeover time. Right, just give me one moment, because my phone, I want to charge my phone up for a second. To move this whole deal. All right. Um, so coming back to, yeah, Venus is going to be in Capricorn. And so she began. So, a lot of times with these ingresses, like, there's look at what happened, like what, and this was yesterday, like what happened yesterday. And it also was Venus's day Friday. So that was really beautiful. Notice what shifted, who came into your world. Um, and Venus is love, it's romance, it's beauty. So what's happening around this time, right? This is a precursor of what is to come for you. It's also, it's love and relationships. And in the sign of Capricorn, right? Like this is about like Venus wants relationships that are going to bring security. Capricorn is all about the long game, right? This isn't about like flying off of the seat of your pants and just doing stuff because, it's fun. And Capricorn is serious. Like Capricorn has goals. Capricorn's like, I fucking want something to last. I want to be, it's like power couple. It's like, how is this going to make me money? How is this going to bring, more, how can I find more security within myself, more discipline? Um, you know, Venus and Capricorn wants people that are fucking serious. She doesn't want people that, aren't about what she's about. It's like frivolous, like, oh, it's just like have fun. Like, yes, Venus wants to have fun and bring pleasure, but Venus in Capricorn is like she's on a mission to like climb the top of the mountain. So unless you are aligned with that mission and you've got something to bring to the table that we can do together, I don't have time for you, right? Because that's extra weight and baggage that, it's very much about being in integrity, so I'm going up the mountain, right? So if I've got like all of this other weight on me carrying people that aren't carrying their weight, like that's got to go, right? Like sacrifices must be made. And we're going to have fun and we're going to have a good time, but we're going to work. So if you know what I mean? So it's like tough love. It can be a very tough love, but it's like people that are tough with you they're real with you. They're honest with you. They're not going to fucking lie to you, right? And it might be hard to hear, but you're going to fucking appreciate that, 5 years down the line when, the shifts and changes that you made in your life are now reaping you results. It's like, I remember this time where I was with this woman and I was just like, I said this thing like, I'm like, when I'm rolling in the dough, and I started like, I laughed. I was like, oh, like, yeah, I'll do that. Like, or, this is how it's going to be when I'm rolling in the dough. And she looked at me and she said, you really need to start taking your desires more seriously. That thing, like her being so fucking ruthlessly honest, was a kindness. And I looked at and I realized, I was like, all of these statements that I say that I like laugh, like I'm laughing off these statements, and I see people do this all the time. They're like, like, when I get married or when I find the right man or when Prince Charming or when I get rich, and they're like laughing it off. And then meanwhile, years and years are going by and that you're not seeing any real change in their life. And it's because they're not taking themselves seriously. Once you start to really take yourself seriously and give yourself what you require to do things, that's when you're going to start seeing changes in your life. And so this is the vibe of Venus in Capricorn. She's like, she's not here for some frivolous, like, she's serious, right? Like this is like heavy hitters, like big players type vibe, big relationships, karmic relationships. And karma doesn't mean like bringing negative karma. It just means like really recognizing that everything that you do there's a cause and an effect to it. All right. So, Mercury is going to conjunct Mars at Scorpio at 7 degrees. So this is on November 10th. Definitely paying attention to your conversations. Mind your mind, mind your mouth. Mercury and Mars can bring up conflict. It can bring up fights, arguments, and or just really feeling like you're like angry and argumentative and impatient and all this kind of stuff. So Mars is also going to be squaring Saturn at that time. Okay. So that's a challenging aspect. You can feel like where, things that you want to do are hard, right? It's like it's sharpening your sword, it's sharpening your power. And because it's a square, it means there is some sort of action that needs to be taken. Whatever you've been hesitating around, whatever you've been like, oh, tired, like I'm tired, I can't do it, or this is challenging, or you've been dealing with somebody where you feel like they're at odds with you. It's like something has got to shift though, something, and it means you shift. If you want changes in your outside world, you got to be the one changing it. And so this square is at, in the areas of Scorpio and Aquarius. So Saturn being in Aquarius, you want to look at, what new laws and rules are you laying down for your life that's bringing you more freedom, right? This is about what are you implementing now, but it's a long game move, meaning what are the disciplines and the moves that you're making that are probably challenging and difficult right now. You're not seeing the fruits of now, but this is a long game investment towards your freedom. It's something that you're doing now that's going to be bringing you greater and greater freedom in the future, but you got to take action on it, right? And that action piece is in Scorpio. So like, what's the difficult conversations that you have to be having? It could be like something with if you're married, because Scorpio is like shared resources. Like it could be either getting a loan, using your husband's money, looking at other people's resources that you can use and blend, and having those conversations and taking action around that. It could be, doing things to pay off your debt. But it's going to feel challenging. It's going to feel difficult. It's not going to be fucking easy. But if you don't do it, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. What else is important? Mars is then going to oppose Uranus on the 17th. So thing with Uranus, right, is if you are not living up to your highest potential, this is when the fucking radical lightning flash, lightning could strike for better or for worse. The shit starts cracking, right? It's like, so, but if you're already doing that, if you're already like doing and being the highest level version of you, and this is sorry guys, this is in the sign of Taurus, money, wealth, with your body, with beauty, your creativity. Mars Uranus is like, it's very hot energy, very, very hot. Because Uranus is lightning, Mars is fire, Mars is passion. So it can be very fucking hot. It can be very fucking sexy. That's like the good way that this can turn out. If you're not like really on your hotness game, like really hot with your money, really being on about like, I'm going after my money, I'm going after what I want. It's the opposition, right? Is like, again, oppositions are about balance and harmony. It's going to show you where you're out of balance. What are you doing too much of? What are you not doing enough of? So you want to do both. The idea with balance, right, is it's about being flexible, right? It's about doing them both. And there's always a third option, right? When you're seeing like, so for example, home and life balance, right? If you feel like you're doing a lot with your career, and so then you feel like, you're not having enough time with your kids and not time with your family, you know, what can you do that is going to allow you to do both? Like, where are you being too rigid, right? Like, maybe you can start doing things with your kids. Like, it's like not a big deal to have your kids on if you're on live stream, or maybe your kids come to work with you, or, it's like, there's a way for you to do it all, right? But you have to be creative and come up with that third solution. But you have to be flexible in your thinking. You got to be flexible dynamic. All right, so that lunar eclipse then happens on the 19th. So here's the thing, right? It's like all of this Mars energy is like, it's building. It's like Mars is doing all this stuff. This is why I'm doing Mars Moxies, right? It's like, if you're not really actively doing your Mars work, all of these fucking challenges are going to be coming, and it's going to be like, all this fucking shit, right? Because Mars is on a fucking mission, right? It doesn't fucking care. It doesn't care if it's going to piss you off. It doesn't care if it's going to hurt your feelings. It doesn't care about, it's like it wants what it wants, and so if you've got shit, right, like emotional shit around being scared of what other people think and rocking the boat, and and lots of fears, like the witch wound stuff, comes up big time, right? Like it's not going to feel good. And it gets to feel good. Like it really does. Like Mars, like when your Mars shit is clear and clean, you are satisfying your fucking pleasure, But if you've got shit around that, then it's like there's like, that's all the stuff that you got to clean up. So on November 21st, the sun enters Sagittarius. Mars, on Mars. Why does it have it on November 22nd? Okay, so this is when Mars rises as the morning star, November 22nd. So remember, Mars has been on this underworld journey. So this is really significant for Mars. Mars is on his personal death and rebirth, but on the 22nd is when he emerges. It's the rebirth from the underworld. So whatever you're going through right now in the realm of Mars, right? This is facing the dragon. Whatever's happening for you right now, like this is one of your deepest fears. You are in the cave that you fear to enter if you're doing it. I mean, unless you're avoiding it and you're not doing your work, then you're not. But come the 22nd, there is a victory, right? There's an emergence of like, I fucking did it, And yeah, that's all I really want to cover for November. And as far as that, I'm not going to go through the moon day by day because I'm just not feeling that right now. But I am going to do the cards. And so let's look at clear my deck a little bit. We're going to do the theme of the month. We'll do the themes of the week, and then day by day. All right, so Ten of Cups. One of my favorite cards. So this is the theme card of the month. This is the happy family card. You know, Scorpio is a water sign, so here's all of the cups. So this is the 10 of cups, right? This is the completion. It's the number of really coming into that, you know, the fullest expression. This is Mars in Pisces, by the way. So this is really about going after that ideal, right? It's like using your energy and your passion to go after and creating the ideals, right? Like going after the dream, your heaven on earth experience. And in doing that, like there's that beautiful symbol of the rainbow and the parents with the children, and they're playing outside, and it's the happy family. All is well, um, you know, in love, with relationships. Um, we just have to, like with the tens, right, you want to make sure that there's no stagnation happening, meaning that those emotions are flowing, that you're moving the emotions, you're allowing yourself to process through the emotions. There's going to be abundance of emotions, and if you don't allow yourself to feel, you know, that's where you're going to get, that's where there can be the the stagnation, and then you run into like those addictive things where you're like you're seeking externally for something outside of you because you're not allowing yourself to feel the pleasure that's inside of you. All right, so week one. So week one, so this was starting Monday. So this will be for Monday. Okay. Justice. Oh no, my phone. It's like there's a little bit of a, I don't know what's happening here. Okay. So week one is justice, right? Justice, this is always about when we have justice, it's looking at both sides, right? Like, and it really warns you to, this is a card of Libra, right? So both sides, don't just look at things from your side, look at things from other people's side. When we start getting judgy and judgmental of like, ah, like this person did this and this is how I feel and they're wrong and I'm right. It's like, are you looking at things from their point of view? Because if you're not looking at things from their point of view, then you know you're not seeing the whole picture. All truths are half truths, meaning it might be true for you, but it's not true for them. So in order to really come into a full equality and justice for the entirety, we have to look at from everybody's point of view and take that time. And in doing that, so this might bring up legal things, there might be legal issues that you're dealing with, things that, you know, make sure that you're doing things right, that you're doing things by the book, that you're not cutting corners, that you're not brushing over things, like dot your I's, cross your T's, do the right thing, you know, and make sure that you are, what is the right thing and the best thing for everybody involved, not just you, right? And for you to be in integrity also, like also not just kind of doing things to make other people happy or to people please, because that can be the shadow, right? And it might be something difficult for somebody else to handle and for somebody else to hear, but it's the right thing, right? Like you, it's like if somebody does something that isn't right, you know, it's like, and you don't hold them accountable to that, um, you're not really doing them a service. You're doing them a disservice. All right. So I'm not going to start with the day by day cards because I'm not going to do that. We'll start with Friday for today. Oh no, today is, what's today? Saturday. We'll start with the card for today and then we'll. Today is the 10 of Cups. So whatever's happening today, pay attention is a theme for the whole week. So November 6th, like for me, we're starting Mars Moxie. So I mean, as we know, as you know, like that's the theme for me this whole month. It's all about Mars Moxie. What's happening for you today? Whatever's happening for you today is really going to be tuning you into the whole theme of the month. Okay. So, all right. So now we're going to do the theme of week 2. I start the weeks on Sunday. Oh my gosh, this 10 card is coming up all over the place. So theme card of the week, 10 of Cups for beginning the 7th. Okay, same theme. All right, so we're just really, really staying into that. Like, and I think that's really beautiful. You know, as we're starting this new moon in Scorpio, energy is really sinking into and fully immersing yourself into this is what we're doing. This is the vision. This is the goal, right? And orientating yourself, every decision that you make is this in alignment with my goal, or is this taking me away from my goal? All right, so that's the theme card from the 7th of the week, and now we'll actually do Sunday, the card for Sunday, 7th. 2 of Wands. So the 2 of Wands, this is the full energy of the fire, right? So meaning fire takes action. So this is about taking some sort of action. What day was that? What was on the 7th? No, yeah. There's some action that you need to be taking, bold action, like choosing to go on the adventure. What is that for you? What is that thing that as you're looking out, you're visioning into the future, like coming back into, all right, my goal and my vision and my alignment is this 10 of Cups, right? This happy family, this completion, this satisfaction, this fulfillment in bringing my heaven to earth. What's the first action step that I need to be taking? That might be daring, that most likely is daring, that is bold, might scare me a little bit, but it's the cave I fear to enter and doing it. So that's Sunday. Monday. 4 of Swords. So on Monday, the 4 of Swords is, it's coming to a place of rest in your mind. You might have maybe uncovered something that, or be choosing to go back into a place where you experienced heartbreak or failure, and because you took that action, right? And that means might be addressing something. Remember, we're talking about Scorpio, right? Scorpio is it's the past. Scorpio is the stuff that's been buried. So, going into the cave you fear to enter, right? Might be looking at wounds that you have, right? Like actually going into those past wounds and feeling and remembering the heartbreak or experiencing dissatisfaction or sorrow, disappointment. And then because you did that, now, the 4 of Swords is like, allow yourself to rest, allow your mind to rest, right? It might be, all right, you did something hard. Now you don't have to like keep kind of crazy pushing, like allow your mind to come to a place of stability so that you're not like in anxiety and in sorrow or depression, but, come to a place of truce, and I'm not going to fight over this anymore, right? Like I'm not going to be fighting myself or fighting other people. Ooh, the Chariot, but this is reversed. So the Chariot is about taking charge, right? It's like this is like full speed ahead, traveling in style, right? And speedy luxury travel and style. That's my nickname for the chariot. It's a symbol for the body, right? The chariot is it's the chariot of the soul is your body. But this is in the reverse position. So it means that, you might be feeling stagnant, you might not be moving. And so you got to look at, where are you being in overly controlling, right? Like, where are you, because you're trying to stay in control, right? And because you're scared, right, of like the future, you're worrying about the future, or you're stuck in the past, you're not being in the present moment, right? And when we're in the present moment, we're able to be, right? And to be is like, we're moving at the speed of light. When we're actually being, we're in alignment with being a soul that's journeying at the speed of light. Okay. But again, if you're in worrying about the past, or worrying about the future, or you're regretting about the past, then you're trying to control stuff. So that's that work. Was that Tuesday? Yeah, so now let's do Wednesday. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, one of my favorite cards. As you guys know, I did it, like some of you guys know, I did a beautiful piece, an art piece on the Hanged Man. I call it the Hanged Woman. And we do this when we've been trying to break through and we haven't been able to break through. And you have to turn yourself upside down, right? Suspend yourself. Sometimes it's about doing like the opposite of what you think you need to be doing, so that you can gain a different perspective. And it's this feeling of being suspended between worlds. So kind of like, how the cocoon, like a butterfly, like goes into the cocoon, and it goes upside down, and it's being suspended, and it has to stay in this like cocoon where it seems like nothing is happening, but everything is happening. And it's fucking uncomfortable. It's fucking uncomfortable, because it's like you don't see anything changing, but what's happening is, on the inside there's tons of alchemy that's happening. It's like you're liquefying. It's the And this is what I say about, a lot of people, okay, why we have to put ourselves in pressurized containers. An alembic, how we create alchemy and change, is when you put yourself in what feels like a confining and pressurized area, like when you join a program, or you commit to a long-term process with a coach or a healer, and it's pressurized, meaning it's hard. Like, I made a commitment to do this and it's feeling really hard. Like, I'm fucking worrying about money. I'm worrying about whether things are going to work out, right? I'm challenging myself to do things that I don't normally do, that things that I don't maybe like doing. And it's like, and I'm not seeing the results that I want right away. And it's because there's a lot of change that's happening on the inside. And what happens, why, a lot of people, they they don't experience the change that they want in their life, is because they're not willing to go through this period of dissolving, of dissolution. So it brings up a lot of emotions. You have to allow yourself to be in the emotions, to feel the emotions. This is the highest, it's a card of Neptune. It's the highest water card in the entire deck. So it's like, can you allow yourself to feel and receive everything? Like, stop judging yourself. Stop judging your pain. Stop judging your stories. Stop judging yourself, and just allow yourself to feel everything. Like, it's okay that I fucking feel triggered. It's okay that I fucking feel jealous. It's okay that I feel fucking angry at this person. It's okay that I fucking hate my mother. It's okay that I fucking, feel like a fucking loser, because it's all feelings. I mean, it's all emotions. It doesn't mean that it's true. It's veils. It's veils that are dissolving. It's all of the veils and the lies and the program that has to be dissolved by your tears. So what I recommend for this is be by water, go sit in a sauna. If you have access to the ocean, go be by the ocean, take an Epsom salt bath, really allow yourself to allow everything that you're feeling to be pleasure to you. Don't judge your feelings. Can you get as much pleasure from anger and sadness as you can from joy and bliss and happiness? Because it's all available to you. That's the promise of this card, is where you don't judge anything. There's no good or bad. It's all experience for your soul. And you, because your soul is wanting to experience it, it gets to feel beautiful. You know, it's yeah, it's a really beautiful card. What was that? Wednesday? We're only on Wednesday. I better fucking flip it. That's the 10th. All right, the 11th, Thursday. Page of Swords. Upside down. Ooh. Okay. So, Page of Swords. The Page of Swords right side up is unconventional thinking, right? This is like new ideas that are different, that are creative, that, you know, new conversations, things that inspire you, right? That is you, you know, but because it's upside down, it's like you're not doing that. You're not allowing yourself to be creatively imagining or being creative. You know, like you're being too rigid with your thoughts. Nine of Pentacles. I love this card. So this is Friday, the 12th. Nailing your target, right? Financial, spiritual, physical, emotional gain. You're experiencing gain in every single area of your life because you're following what has heart and meaning, and you're doing the work. You're tending to the garden. You're tending to your animal self, to your instinctive self, to your sexual self, and you're doing the work. And you're weeding the garden, right? And because you're disciplining yourself to doing all of these things, you know, you're going to experience gain in your life. It's the, you know, the highest or the second highest rather female financial card in the entire deck. So financial female independence vibes. Saturday, Four of Wands, making the marriage work, right? So on the 13th, so this is about like charisma, celebrating, having fun, celebrating. It's like the four is a card of stability, but because it's a wands card, you know, it's like there's going to be some dynamism there, right? And so it's like, you know, having enough structure, but so that you're not being limited in your structure. You know what I mean? So this could be like you might want to throw a party in your house, or maybe you want to redecorate your house. You want to invest into beautifying your home, changing it up, making it more vibrant, more vital, right? It's like, you know, maybe really play some dynamic music in your house, you know, or, you know, it's doing something, really actively doing something to keep something alive, something that, you know, might have gotten stale and boring, you know, like, so in the relationship, right? If the relationship has gotten stale, like, how can you celebrate your relationship? Go out, right? Buy a gift for yourself, buy a gift for your man, go out, you know, partying, go dancing, throw a party, something like that. All right, so this is now Sunday, the 14th, Nine of Wands. So that's interesting. So Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So it's like looking at, you know, you've really been going after something. You might have gotten wounded, and like taking the time to heal those wounds. Like, you know, um, you're not a victim, right? And when you recognize and take responsibility for yourself and for um you know, the things that happen, as far as like when you're a warrior, right? It's like going out and going on, you know, risking and, you know, an adventure. It's like you might fall down, right? You might scrape yourself. There might be a bruise to your ego, you know, and taking the time to get the support, to getting and letting go of any sort of victim mentality that we might still be holding, or you know, that we might be um, you know, afraid of losing, afraid of, you know, of failure, and addressing that, taking responsibility for that so that you can move on. All right, so now this will be the, oh, that was, I'm sorry, that's the part of the, no, because I, okay, this will, so that was the 14th, the Sunday, but I didn't do a card of the theme of the week. So let's do the theme of the week for the 14th. That one flew out. 7 of Cups. So this is a card of debauchery. So meaning like addictions, doing too much of something, you know, maybe because you're not getting the satisfaction that you desire, or you're not having the success that you want. You're overdoing something in order to make yourself feel better. So really looking at, okay, you know, am I eating too much sugar? Am I checking out on Netflix? Am I avoiding, am I numbing out with sex, or whatever sort of, you know, addictions that you might notice? Am I scrolling through social media? You know, where am I avoiding my feelings so that I can focus on what I want and realign to um, what has heart and what has meaning for me? You know, where am I allowing myself to be distracted by the illusions? And because the veils are down and I'm believing what I'm seeing I'm giving more agency to the 3D world than to my internal world of feelings and my desires. And because I'm not honoring myself, I'm being distracted, I'm not focusing on me. Because I'm not focusing on me, I feel disconnected. So, ooh, Queen of Wands, hell yeah. And that's how you fucking bring it back, baby. What? Queen of Wands. So this is the 15th on Monday. This is fucking like full on sexual, in her power, in her creative power, in her fucking, this is Mars Moxie female style, right? Like she's fucking going after it. She is unapologetic about her desires, about her sexuality, about her passion. And she's mastered this, you know, she's mastered desire. Everything is drawn, she is magnetic. Everything is being drawn to you because you are owning how fucking badass you are, right? So you're naturally attracting everything. You're naturally drawing all of your desires to you. 3 of Pentacles. Love this card. This is on what, the Tuesday on the 16th. So this is the works, right? Whatever it is that you are working towards financially and or with your body, something that you're building, it's like giving it the work, like making sure that you are giving your full on energy and attention. And maybe you're consulting with other people. It's this 3 card. So a lot of times this could be like needing a third person, or somebody else to kind of, come in to really fill in gaps. It's a very dynamic card. There's a lot of energy and movement to this, but it's about, because it's a Pentacles, it's about, it's going to move and shift things that that but with stability and with groundedness. I love that card. It's fun. It's like we're building something, and we're building something that's going to be big. So if you're building something that's going to be big, you probably aren't doing it by yourself. Judgment. So this is the 18th, right? Yeah, the 18th, which is Thursday. Is it the 19th? That's the eclipse. Yeah. So right before the eclipse, the judgment, right? This is like truth. The it's the This is like the angel that's like with the trumpet. It's like the truth is here. This is a card of Pluto that's really facing it's a moment of truth, and it could be very powerful. It is very powerful. And again, like it's a revealing. There's a revealing happening. I don't know what I'm choosing to the words. It's like the trumpet call. Ooh, shit. All right, these two flipped out together for the eclipse. So the Fool and the Strength card. I love that. Those two together, it's super fun. So the Fool, right, is the first card in the deck. This is about innocence. This is about like really remembering that it's all a journey, that, it's remembering, but also to not be naive, but it's that beautiful, like that fine line between being innocent and just like having the faith and the optimism to go on an adventure, and it's all about the adventure and the journey. But also, you could be naive, like you're about to like walk off of a cliff, but it's like that courage, right? Like nature loves courage. When we're willing to dare and to have the courage to cross the abyss, to go for it, right? Nature will always support us. Unforeseen forces will be there to support you if you are truly, if it's a true dream. And then the strength, right, is here to, about your passion, and it's the beauty and the beast, right? It's I love this because it's like a rose is not a rose without thorns, right? You can't experience true beauty without strength. If you're letting people walk all over you, if you're people pleasing, if you're not being direct and assertive, and you're not being in integrity with yourself, you can't experience true beauty, and at the same time, like also to have compassion and to have forgiveness nobody's perfect, you're not perfect, they're not perfect, like also to have compassion and forgiveness for yourself, and to remember that this world is abundance and the nature of you is abundance, but at the same time, like you have to have that balance. And when we do that, we experience the strength of and the beauty of the soul. All right, so that's the eclipse on the 19th. Now the 20th. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, the strength upside down. So after the eclipse, you might be feeling upside down in that, right? Like whatever was revealed, now it's like, you're not feeling that strong, but remember, it's the most important moments are the ones when you don't feel strong. It's who you're choosing to be when you're tired. It's who you're choosing to be when you're being challenged. It's who you're choosing to be because that's how you experience growth. So probably something is coming up, right? Something has come up. It is the eclipse, right? It's like, how can it not? But it's who you're choosing to be what this is showing is that you're not feeling strong. All right, so that was the 20th. Now let's do the card of the week for the 21st. He's flipping cards. So the Temperance card is the card of the week. So this is about balance, right? It's like interesting because remember we're talking about like the strength card, right? Which is the balance is when you're doing both. But the Temperance card is showing you're doing too much of something, right? You're either you're being too masculine or you're being too feminine. What are you doing too much of? You need to do the opposite. That's how you're going to come into balance and temperance. Then on Sunday, the 21st, is the Empress card. Fucking love this card. Amazing. Fucking one of my favorite cards. This is like you're fucking full on in your feminine, creative, sensual, radiance. It's like you are making your shit happen, but with your feminine power, with your Venusian power. This is Venus in Earth goddess mode, right? So it's very sensual. It's very about, luxuriously, lush experience with your body, with your money, with the 3D, your 3D reality. That's Sunday. Jesus Christ, all of these flipping cards. All right, so this is the moon upside down on Monday. You might be caught up in a little bit of delusion and illusion, so remember we're in we're in eclipse season now. It's full on, right? So between this eclipse window of the 19th and then December 4th, all of the shadows, right? So something is shadowy happening. Something, deception could be happening. You're not seeing it. Are you being wishy-washy? Are you being like not honest, or somebody else? Get clear, get clear, get clear. That's the 22nd. And third, Eight of Swords, not a favorite card. Eight of Swords, right? You got to fucking focus. Focus, focus, focus. You are letting your mind fucking run the show at this point. You're so free that you can choose bondage, right? Like you get to choose your thoughts. But if you're being lazy with your mind, you're letting your mind run the show. It's like if you're feeling limited, it's because the mind has trapped you. So fucking take back. Is the mind running you, or are you running your mind? That's the 23rd. 24th. Eight of Pentacles. So this is when it comes to your body, when it comes to your money, you know, like this is the mark. It's your craft, you know, like craft. This is your craft. It's like how you beat at your craft every single day is what makes you an expert, is what makes you, you know, allows you to create something that's exquisite, right? It's like do the work. You know, if your shit isn't selling, then you need to do the work around, you know, looking at, you know, how are you, you know, how do you feel about your work? Do you feel, you know, um, really honestly looking at, are you taking the time, you know, to stand behind and get behind what you're doing. Same thing with your body, right? If you're not happy with the results that you have in your body, where are you slacking off? Where are you not doing the work? Where are you not eating well? Where are you not resting? Do your work. All right, what was that? Was that the 20, the 23rd was the 8th, the 24 um was that one. So that was Wednesday, the 24th. So we got those two eights. So eights is like a lot of focus, right? The focus is what's going to bring you the abundance. No, the 23rd. Woo, nice. So look at that. Now we get the Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful. So like mastery when it comes to the financial, you know, physical realm of money and God. It's like you did the work, right? You focused, and now you know, you come to a place of mastery, like realizing that the earth is about work. The realm of the physical is about doing the work, right? It's like taking care of your body, taking care of your money, being sensual, enjoying it, right? It gets to be something you enjoy. Looking at preparing for the future, you know, taking care of, you know, it's like a really good gardener uses their will to cultivate the soil. So you're looking at, all right, wow, this place has got weeds over here. I need to weed that. The soil needs to be, you know, it's getting depleted. Let me, you know, nourish the soil here. Or this plant over here is getting dry. I need to water it. Or I need to trim back over here. Excuse me. Can you go back, please? Thank you. Okay. Distractions. That's the was that the 25th, the 26th. So this is Friday. Nice. Queen of Pentacles back to back. Boom. You're getting some nice momentum here when it comes to money, sensuality, physicality in the body. And now the 27th. Three times. Beautiful fucking blessings. I mean, remember, this was the eclipse, the Taurus eclipse, right? Queen of Pentacles, totally. And it's like back to back. It's like it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So that's the 27th. Let's look at the theme card for the last week in November. Ten of Wands. So this is like, this card is about, you know, working really hard, right? And so, but releasing the burden, right? It's like you can relax and work. You don't have to be like, where are you holding back? Because if you're holding back, that's what's creating, that's what's making things harder than they actually have to be. You're using your energy to 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 hold back, and that's making things harder than they have to be, because it's kind of like there's resistance there. You're resisting your true nature, your true freedom. So drop that burden, whatever burdens, things that aren't really yours, you know, like the burden of the weight of the purpose and your passion. Like sometimes when we're really passionate about self stuff, right? And it's like we have like this duty, right? It's like I have to do this because it's my duty, right? And it's like looking at, all right, is it really, you know, like if you have to come back to the love, right? If you, love is the death of duty. So like allow yourself to come back to the joy, right? However, whatever it is that you need to do, remind yourself of the bigger vision, right? Like, and that is what allows you to tap back into the motivation, right? As opposed to like checking things off a to-do list. So that's the theme. Now for the 28th, this is Sunday, 10 of Swords. Ooh, two tens back to back, and not like 10 of Swords is like something like a way of thinking is coming to an end, but it's really like gotten to the point where it's like you did not really fucking like something that you were ignoring, some sort of little thought that you just allowed to build and build and build till it finally got to this point where it's like now you fucking feel betrayed and you feel like stabbed in the back or something. It's like a defeat. This is a card of defeat, but it's like mental defeat. Like you mentally defeated yourself, but it's good because now it's like it's come to an end. Like it's like that Abraham Hicks where it's like you're falling out of an airplane at like, you know, and you're like freaking out like what do I do, what do I do, and it's just like just hold on, it's going to be over. There's really nothing you can do at this point but just like let it go and start over. So you might want to use, what was that, Sunday? Yeah, that was Sunday. You might want to use that card to just like rest, like really rest, like Netflix and chill, like, you know. 29th, ooh, Netflix and chill again. Like this is coming off of Thanksgiving. So Netflix and chill. Eat, rest, recover, relax, and meditate, you know, like stop fighting your mind, you know, just don't don't entertain the past. Don't entertain the past. Page of Cups, beautiful. Last card of the month. It's a nice way to end it. It is upside down though. Page of Cups is, and that's like also like Page of Cups is like, it's the card of like, you know, puppy love, right? So that innocence, like you might be feeling like, because it's upside down, you might be feeling jealousy. You might be feeling jealousy. You might be feeling some betrayal. You might be feeling like, you know, you're not in love, like you're not getting the love because you're not, it's like it's an immature kind of love. It's puppy love. Like it's like you're wanting to have like all of the sweetness of love, but you know, but you're not like, your love nature needs to mature a bit, right? Because love isn't about the body. Love isn't about like you're loving the world and you're loving like the being connected to somebody and the feeling of having a warm body up against you, or somebody stroking your ego, you know, or the money and the security that they bring you. But that's not really love, right? So you know, love um is 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 something that comes through you and you share with others. It's pure. So where is your ego in the way, right, of you know, so that you can just give, that you can come to a place of freely giving from your heart, because love is about freedom. Love is not about security. So because that card is upside down, it's like you might be needing to take some time to either, you know, heal your heart or to connect with somebody that helps you to, you know, go through these feelings of being betrayed or being unloved and come back to the truth. All right, that's it. I love you guys. I hope that you guys found this helpful. If you have questions or you want real support, send me a message or post something in the group, the Mother Lovership. Until next time, bye. And